The business plans you're preparing for this class need to be based on solid, fact-driven science. This video will show you 3 approaches for finding scientific articles that will be relevant to your assignments. One of the first places to go is Wikipedia. Wikipedia articles can be great. They're up-to-date, generally well-written, and they cover virtually every topic. But as you probably know, Wikipedia articles are written and edited collaboratively through a consensus process. And remarkably, this produces very high quality and well-balanced articles, but they're not particularly deep in the details. And because these articles are collaboratively written, there's no systematic oversight of Wikipedia articles, and therefore there's no guarantee that they're accurate. Reading the citations are critical to evaluating the validity of a Wikipedia article. An article with lots of high-quality citations will be likely to be much more reliable than one with fewer or no citations. Go to the source of the citations to see if the Wikipedia article accurately reflects what the referenced article says. Another thing, Wikipedia articles are unstable over time because they're constantly being edited. So what you read today on Wikipedia may not be there tomorrow. So you can't use Wikipedia as a primary source of factual information, nor can you directly cite Wikipedia articles. But you should certainly use Wikipedia to begin your explorations of a topic. Look particularly for featured articles that have been extensively reviewed for accuracy. These are marked with a star in the corner, and they're locked to stray edits. Scientific journal articles are fundamentally different from Wikipedia articles because they've been formally read, evaluated, and critiqued by 2 or more experts who can vouch for the validity of the results. Peer reviewers of journal articles determine if the experiments were done properly, whether the conclusions are valid, and whether the authors appropriately cited the works of others. An important feature of journal articles is that they're the first disclosure of a scientific finding. Therefore, when a scientist publishes an article, they're considered the discoverer of that information and can lay claim to its intellectual property. Journals are published on a regular basis, and there's millions of articles published every year. Some journals, such as Science or Nature, are very broad in scope and include articles on topics from astrophysics to natural ecology. Other journals can be quite specialized, like the Journal of Blood Cancer or the Journal of British Dragonflies. For centuries, scientific journals have been housed in university libraries, much like you find in the stacks at Shields Library. Today, many journals are online and are made available to UC students through the California Digital Library. There's a special type of journal article that you'll find particularly useful for the projects in this class, and that's a review article. Unlike a journal article, a review article doesn't disclose original research, but rather summarizes work that's already been published. A good review article will give up-to-date summaries of several studies and can be more useful to you than primary research articles that can often be heavy in the details. At the end of all scientific articles, you'll see a reference list that gives the necessary information for finding the original sources of background information that's discussed in the article. This allows you, the reader, to follow up on interesting topics for more details. Citations are the key words, author name and date, which are embedded in papers that tell the reader which references are applicable to the specific part of the paper. The use of citations acknowledges and gives credit to the originators of an idea, and it's a critical element in scientific writing. Large review article or graduate theses can have hundreds of references. Fortunately, there's free software that works well for organizing references and for formatting the citations. EndNote is one such reference manager that's available to UCD students through a campus-wide license. References can be downloaded from the internet into EndNote, which will then format the bibliography into the desired format and then put it into Word documents. To download your version of EndNote, go to my.ucdavis.edu/software and then search for EndNote. Download and activate the software as instructed. There's lots of tutorials that are instructive about EndNote, and I'll let you to study these to understand how to put your documents into EndNote. So, how do you find references to put into EndNote? Well, I'll show you a few strategies. First will be my favorite, and that's to search a Biosis database.